What's up, y'all? This is Mohammed with a Mohammed Minute. Now, look, I've been living in America for about 10 years. And, when I came to America, it was at, like right when Obama was being elected. So, on the news, we had a lot of talk about people wanting to leave the country, right? And this was like white people. Right, let's just say white people, white America wanted to leave the country when Obama was in office. Granted, me as a Pakistani, me as a Muslim, no matter which president, is elected, it doesn't make a difference to me because my situation doesn't depend on a constituent leader, right? My situation depends on what I have to do for myself, right? So anyways, when I first came to America, pretty interesting things in Georgia where a lot of my white classmates used to say, hey man, I'm about to move to Australia, mate. I'm about to move to Australia, I'm about to move to England, I'm about to do this, that, and the third. Obama came into office, every last one of them still didn't do anything. Still were living at their mama's house, not doing much. Anyways, Trump comes in office. A lot more people are saying, yo, they're gonna leave the country, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, right? You have to realize that the leader of a country does set the precedent, but it's still people under him that make the machine work. That's what you have to realize. A lot of times the biggest problem are the followers of the leader, not the leader himself. So the thing with Trump, the issue with ICE, the detention camp with these kids, that issue is very much a bigger problem within American society of Americans just wanting to follow rules, right? This is how obedient and spineless America has become. Why? Because of fear mongering. When somebody instills fear in you, there's a psychological phenomenon that occurs. It's called perceived helplessness, where people instill abuse and they get a reaction of inaction from you. This reaction of inaction makes you stuck at the same place, taking the abuse, thinking that you're doing God's work, thinking that you're doing a good thing, even though you're a fool. Taking the abuse, you better stand up to that abuse. So many Americans are the problem. The war machine is the problem. This is just symptoms. Trump is a symptom. He puts a face to the problem, but the real problem is within American society itself. I lived in different states and I've noticed the sickness of people in general. People in general, they follow orders, they don't ask questions, they pretend like they know most things, and this problem will cause a lot more division because at the end of the day, your place in the world is to speak your truth. Unfortunately, these days, for a lot of people, their truth is instilled in a fundamental lie that what they're doing is the right thing. People, when they see money, they say, hey, you know what, I'm doing the right thing. You know what, this has to be the right thing. God is blessing me with money. God is, doing this, that, and the third for me, so it must mean I'm doing right. Okay. Yes, there is money. There will always be money in things, in jobs that most people don't want to do. If there is money in opening your own child detention camp for ICE and getting, $600 a day to take care of a child, you better be doing it properly, because if not, then that is the biggest that's the biggest crime against humanity, right? But unfortunately, American society has drifted in such a way where we don't value lives anymore. You know, these people value their dogs more than they value human beings. People value their pets. They don't even value their parents. People don't even value their parents anymore. They don't value anything except animals and money. So the two things of value. That's it, just the two. These two things are ruining everything. They're making your priorities messed up. You should be on a mission where you want to spread the most good, spread wellness amongst all people. You cannot be greedy, be stingy with the wellness. Problem is, a lot of people, they can't stand it. They can't stand goodness. When they see you with a family unit, especially if you're an immigrant, if you're a person of color, if you're a minority, if you're with your people, mainstream society doesn't like that, because a lot of people here, they're dirty. They treat their parents bad, treat their family really bad. Why? Because they're born into the sickness of the American dream, you know. Me, I was born into the reality of Pakistan, the reality of Islam, the reality of my family, the reality of my roots, the reality of a lot of things that I take granted for. Because if a lot more people were born into that reality, the world might be a better place. But the problem is we're being pushed away from what grounds us. Once humans are pushed away from what really grounds them, they start behaving erratically. Right? Like if you put mice in a cage, they're gonna start attacking each other. It's the same way, you know, you make that mice forget that, you know, he's from the jungle. There's plentiful. You're in a world of plenty. Why are you having tunnel vision, you know? Is it because of the walls that are around you that you have tunnel vision? Or is it because of the walls within your mind that you have tunnel vision? And the walls can only be broken if you can dig deep and find your roots, right? That's how you defeat a wall. You gotta dig deep. So, Mr. Trump, let's not build a wall. Let's dig deep, find our roots, and maybe we can flip the script on a lot of things in the world, you know, maybe. But one thing I know for sure is the political landscape of America is deteriorating to such an extent where people are so sick of the Republican Party, Trump Party, that they'd be willing to, you know, just have a one-party system, which is the same as a dictatorship. Right now, America has two parties. What kind of democracy has just two parties? Just two different wings of the same vulture. You need a whole different bird if you want change in America, right? We're looking at two different wings. So if it gets reduced to just the Democratic Party, then you're gonna have a one-winged vulture. What good is a one-winged vulture, right? Can't fly, can't do anything. Something to think about. This has been a Mohammed Minute. Mr. Trump, you gotta tighten up.